get your cameras up. Because it's not gonna happen ever again. Excalibur. It tastes minty. Excalibur. Oh, ow. Bring the dubstep. From the United Kingdom, I'm looking for him. I'm going to Sacramento, California. Excalibur, Excalibur, Excalibur.
I want you to sing it again. Everything happens for a reason, John. Sometimes people need to crash other people's panels.
Well, you got the gig. You can afford a whole shirt. That was, I'd never seen the Excalibur thing. That was awesome. Let's give it up again. What the hell is he doing here? No questions for me. I'm just here to watch the masterwork. Beat. What? And take it.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Here's a good question. Who had absolutely no idea that it was Nolan as David? The rest of you are liars.
I knew.
The rest of you are liars. That was the first time for Nolan and I to ever do mocap together. Yes, it was. But it was also not as David. Here's the crazy thing. You want to tell me? This is your thing. I actually got to do mocap with both of them. Is this the name? I'm just waiting to ask. As David, I did all the mocap here with Ashley. Did it with Ashley, right?
Yeah.
And is that's perfect. Remember when Joel interrogates the guys in the chair? There's that one little sad guy crying and everything. Hey man, that was me. and they actually they put Liam, didn't they?
Liam ended up doing the voice.
Actually redubbed my voice using another actor. But we got to do it, and he got to work my neck, right?
Yeah, the sheer irony that the first time that Nolan and I worked together, I am torturing the hell out of him. It was not lost on anyone at 9. They're just like, but it has to be said that up to like 2 years before that or whatever, even before that, I was the guy that when you guys were doing, I guess you were still doing 3. I was hanging out outside of the room where they were doing all the VO, and just going, if you need anything, I'll die. I'll scream. Begging Amy Hennig for a job, because I was such an Uncharted fan and Nolan North fan. So what a straight hire. But it was so great because we knew Neil wanted to put Nolan in the game so badly, just because of this much fan service, but also just because of you get the best. And it would be great for everything that Nolan's done for Naughty Dog, to do something for Nolan as well, and give him a really different kind of role to work with. And the guy has been, I'm talking like you're not even here.
Yeah, this is your panel.
I honestly,
me.
I think that it really stop. My lovely, my lovely wife and I were my wife. This is the beautiful little redhead over there. But she
One with the beard.
Yeah, the one with the beard. the drunk guy that's pissing himself right now. Hey, honey. We were talking about this the other night. It was like, what a great choice for a game to go from having this villain in Tess was originally the villain. If you guys, there's some great articles that came out at PAX because while we're here, Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley were up at Seattle for PAX Prime, talking about some of the original ideas for the game that never made it into the actual game. And one of those was that Tess was actually the main villain. It was the main antagonist that was going to chase Joel and Ellie across the country. And there was this idea that they were going to do this Cannibal King, but he's like, I'm not sure what to do with that and what that exactly looks like, and I don't want it to be too mustache twirling arch. And I said, well, don't get Nolan. Really? That joke fell flat? Damn. All right.
The delivery, it's a little too fast.
But is that what it was?
You're too quick for that.
So they ended up completely changing the Tess thing and making Tess this great little, almost pseudo love interest, I guess you could say, for Joel. And they created this amazing character with David. They had the idea for David. And then this thing happened. I want you to, we'll talk a little bit about David because I think he's one of the greatest. Here's what I'm going to say before he says this. I don't think that David was a bad guy.
Finally, something great.
I don't want to be creepy. I don't want to be creepy. I think that what he did was absolutely wrong. But you tell me at one point where he goes, all right, I'm a bad guy.
No, he did nothing wrong.
And I think that's honestly.
You're all wrong. And if you watch the behind the scenes, you'll see how I very eloquently explain myself. Desperate times call for desperate measures, right? He's out there. There's not a lot of food. They got to make certain sacrifices. They got to do certain things. Hey, you're in a plane crash in the Andes, and all of a sudden, Jerry Garcia here looks really tasty, and he's first to go. Bacon. We're chopping you up. We're gonna eat you. We're gonna.
I hope I taste good.
You're gonna taste delicious because you've lived a clean life. Yeah, but again, the deer. That might have been the last deer ever. It's kind of like the way I justify the way, like, if you see my kids get upset. Oh, somebody ran over a squirrel. Honey, that was the Hitler squirrels. That's what it means to die so the rest of the squirrels could live. It's like, oh, I get it. There was a lot of Nazi squirrels in my neighborhood, so that is getting but no, desperate times, and then, okay, let's say, we don't know what the circumstances are with that kind of thing. David, if he walked into this room, yes, lock him up. Strap it, just walk him up and take him out. But, I think Troy's right, in that circumstances, this is a crude way of saying fresh meat, but here's somebody, what if they're inbreeding? All of a sudden, there's babies with two heads. It's like, it's weird stuff, you don't know. There's teeth in your armpit. You never know. So they have to finally get some. I'm just really talking to these two friends. The rest of you are just being, what I think it is, for me, and what I love about this game is that it's so open to interpretation. And nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Or nobody's wrong, everyone's right. No, she's wrong. She's wrong. But we watch it through the lens, the rose-colored glasses of the way that our society currently
is. And if you took that away 20 years from now, dude, I've seen stuff break down way faster. And if you completely removed any kind of social order or morality even, and made it purely based on survival, which is exactly what all of these people are, that their culture is based on is survival, it looked different than what it looks like now. And I think that specifically with David, he even says, he was like, you know, to the contrary, I've been nothing but honest with you. I have not done anything wrong. I've saved your life. I've fought side by side with you. I've told you, I've been very upfront with you about who we are, what we want, and everything. You're the one that's lied. You're the one that's been deceptive. You're the one that's tried to kill me. So there's nothing, I think it's such a beautiful, very complex and intriguing character.
And to that point though, that's exactly what makes this game so amazing, is the fact that the heroes do questionable things.
Right.
I mean, Joel murders two people. The one guy gives them the information up at the map, and he just breaks his neck.
Yeah.
He doesn't even think that there's no remorse. He just like, where David's the one trying to protect his people, and yes, you're right. I mean, in a certain way, way not cool. But in those, under those circumstances that none of us, thank God, will hopefully ever have to deal with. But he has his own, within his, it's like, within his, you know, his group, his community, he's doing what he can to survive. These two, actually, and that's the great thing, beauty, the juxtaposition of this game. You know, the fact that the heroes that you're playing and you're rooting for do some questionable things. Right. Whereas the people who are villains, and yes, by the end, when David is like, you know, he's on angry booty, let's face it, and he gets rebuked enough, he's like, you know, now it's go time. And, you know,
Horrible boss battle too, man.
But it was so great though. She head like a cassava melon.
Do you see the things that sit there going, oh my God, Troy, Ashley's here. Nice. So bad about this too.
really, this was not, we never should have said it.
We've got like 5 minutes left.
I'm gonna give you 10. How's that? 10?
That's ridiculous. No, I'm done. I just came to see your hat.
You should get questions. These people wait fast.
I go get it up.
Mainly the big thing I want to ask is the scene with Tess's death. Just how much went into that, particularly Troy, your line when you say, this is over, Tess. I actually got chills and dropped my controller. It was the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen in a video game. And I go back and replay just that scene so I can see that.
Annie Wershing, man, she's absolutely phenomenal, and what she did and what she brought to that character was just truly sublime. She was amazing. And there's a phrase called 1-to-1, which means that what went in is what came out, right? There's no, if you were looking at it as a ratio, it's not 2-to-1. You know, they had to add a lot more so that we get this. It was 1-to-1. You really see it when she does that turnaround, when she steals herself. She just goes, ooh, that's what makes me drop my controller. There was a lot that went into it. There was several different variations where Neil was like, you're not angry at all, you're very compassionate, and now you're really angry at her. That whole scene evolved into what it finally ended up being. It was incredible, but I hats off to Annie, because she just was a great character in Tess to be found, and she's the one that dug it up and found it. Really cool. Good question. Thank you. Yeah. Rocket Man, what you got? I'm not calling you Rocket Man, I'm just saying rock it, man. Call me man. Anyway.